Alright, so we're doing triangle sum theorem notes. You should have grabbed a little sheet of a triangle on the way in, and you got your notes sheet as well. So we're going to follow the instructions here. So it says to carefully cut out the triangle, and it must be precise, which means make sure it's right on the lines. So let's do that. It'd be cool if y'all did not leave your trash on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Precise on the lines. Cut out a triangle. Cut the triangle. Okay. Hopefully by now you have a triangle. If you didn't have any scissors, hopefully you can borrow some and try to catch up with what we're doing here. So this is going to be thrown away in the trash can in a minute and not left on the ground, because that's awesome. Okay, so step 2 says, find the sum of the measure of the angles of each triangle, adding all 3 angles together. Okay, so notice step 3, we're going to tear. We're not going to cut. So we're done with our scissors. We're going to tear off the angles. So you can kind of see the picture, what that should look like. They should look like tears. Tear off 1, tear off 2, tear off 3. They're going to tear off all of these corners. Okay, so check it out. I'm going to take this and rib. Okay, take off my other vertex, rib. I support ugly looking rips, that way you know it's ripped off. And then the other one, let's rip that off. Alright, so you should have your 3 corners of your triangle. Okay, if you want to label them like this, that's cool too, with dots. Okay, because I want to make sure you know that these other corners that you've ripped, those don't count. It's got to be the original vertices, the corners of the original triangle. That's what you just ripped off. And then we're looking at step 4 here. We're going to take these 3 corners, arrange these 3 angles so that their vertices meet at a point. So we're going to do it right here on the original sheet. So let's do that. I got my notes sheet. And I got my 3 vertices. Let's try to line these up. If you could do that, then you are doing it right. Okay? So it says right here, line up all 3 vertices. We did that. So compare the sum of your triangle interior angles to the interior angles of your neighbor's triangle. Look to your left and to your right. Help your buddies out if they're not doing this correctly, but all 3 angles should line up just like that. Okay? And then at the bottom right here, what does that mean? I want you to make a conjecture. I'm going to give you like a minute. I want you to write a conclusion based off of what we just did. What do you know about the 3 angles of a triangle? I'll give you a minute. Alright, so let's write down a class conjecture down here. What you wrote should be similar to this. If all three of those angles made a straight line, and we know a straight line is 180 degrees, then we should know the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equal 180 degrees. Okay, we did briefly touch on that yesterday, but I hope you see, literally, when we rip off the angles and we line them up, they make a straight line. Every single triangle. Not everybody in the classroom had the same triangle. We had all different sized triangles, and no matter what size triangle, when you rip off those corners, those angles, and line them up, you get 180 degrees. So, let's flip this over. Let's do some practice. Okay, so we know these three angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so let's do that. X plus 52 plus 55 equals 180. Right? This plus this plus this. Right? We set it up, and we should be able to solve this like a pro. Combine like terms. Get rid of the loner. And then subtract to get 73 degrees. To the right of that, I have one angle labeled, and I have M, this other angle. There's no number, but I really hope by now we know what this little symbol means. That's a 90-degree angle, right? So we'll have M plus 90 plus 29 equals 180. Combines the like terms. Get rid of the 119. M equals 61 degrees. Okay, on these, this is where it gets a little more complicated. I want you to set these up. I want you to write this plus this plus this equals 180. Two x plus 1 plus 10x plus 59 equals 180. I'll give you a second to write that down and try to solve that. So just like the last ones, we want to combine like terms. 2x and 10x gives us 12x. 1 and 59 gives us 60. And that equals 180. Get rid of that loner. 12x equals 120. And then we get rid of that 12 by division. So x equals 10. to the right here, this one looks even more complicated, but it's literally the same process. And then we're going to combine like terms and solve. So it's just going to start off looking really ugly, but that's alright. So again, let's add these three angles up to 180. 2x plus 11 plus 7x plus 18 plus 6x plus 16 equals 180. I'll give you a moment, try to combine those like terms and solve that. Alright, hopefully you're a pro at combining like terms by now. 2x plus 7x plus 6x gives us 15x. And then you got your constants, 11 plus 18 plus 16, 45 equals 180. And two-step problem. We get rid of our loaner, and we're going to divide. So 180 minus 45 is 135. And then we're going to divide by 15 to get rid of the coefficient. And then we get 9. Cool. Last but not least, we should be able to do this in our sleep by now. So 4x minus 2 plus 90 plus 48 equals 180. There are no like terms with the x, so we'll bring down 4x. But we got 3 constants we can combine. Okay, so we get 136 plus 136. Remember, that's a negative 2. And that equals 180. We get rid of the loaner. X equals 44. Divide by the coefficient to get our variable, x equals 11. Cool. So you're going to use that information to do your assignment, which will be passed out probably right now. If I can please reiterate that we don't leave little pieces of triangle on the ground. Right now would be a good time to ball all that up and put it in the garbage can. Maybe I can walk around and give that to you so you can not litter in my classroom. That would be sweet. Let's do that.